Alrighty, now we do it.
Good morning.
The It is Sunrise Extra. It's a Wednesday edition. Man, I always forget there's a monitor behind camera J there.
Oh, that's right. It's showing the Today Show now.
I like it when
Can
it's showing
somebody
us.
flip the monitor for us?
Just so we can see the action on the screen. We're going
Thanks,
to talk
Celeste.
about a couple of different things here on Sunrise Extra. Of course, weather has really been the hot topic all week long.
Yeah, everyone's talking about that.
Doesn't it feel like this week has been going on now for 8 or 9 days?
It's only Wednesday.
Yes, because we've had like this sort of roller coaster weather ride thus far. We were expecting this, we got that, we may still get this, but Rod's going to join us to talk about that as soon as he's done some of his Today Show cut-ins. In the meantime, we can bring up topic of conversation number 2.
Okay.
Because this is a pretty fun one. I forget even where the heck. Hey, Celeste, where did we base? This was a study from where exactly? We generate this question from.
It was early today.
Okay.
The study, let me check exactly where that came from.
The early Today Show that comes on before our Sunrise Show even hits the air, like at 4 o'clock in the morning, was talking about. They said that there was an age that was. How did they phrase it, Jess? The age was 47 and a half. And that was deemed to be the age at which we reach peak misery.
Peak misery?
Peak misery?
Such a thing?
I know. It was, such a negative story. Peak misery.
47?
47 and a half.
Yeah.
And then I suppose after 47 and a half, it gets better from there.
No, I'm more miserable now than I was when I was 47, without question.
Maybe it gets worse from there. But we said, let's not talk about that. Let's spin it the other way and talk about, how about the best stage of your life?
Oh,
The best stage, yeah.
Because, sometimes we talk about, high school, that was my glory years. Or,
yeah.
I wish I could go
God,
back.
no.
No, not me neither.
High school.
Me neither. But some people say high school is their glory time, yes?
I'm going to go
Bruce
mid.
Springsteen
I'm going to
write a
go
song
mid
about that?
30s to early 40s. Mid 30, because you're still figuring stuff out when you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
When you get older, you look back and you go, that was a mess. But mid 30s to early 40s, I think most of us. I mean, we're not professional athletes, but you're right there in your physical prime. You can still do anything. You're getting hopefully a little ahead in your life on things,
Right.
and then by 47 and a half, though, it's a catastrophe. You're right.
No, I mean, the safe answer, not the safe answer. I would think a popular answer might be the right now. The right now, and I hope that everyone is feeling like right now is their best stage of their life. You should certainly answer that way. I like right now. Hey, listen, if I was to go on here, I would feel
Rodney
actually
Downer.
terrible
I
saying this is not one of the, if not the best stage of my life. Geez, I've got a wife who could be watching and 2 young children. I go, really, Dad? You don't like this time you're spending with us? But there is a time, 1993. I don't know what, something about that year has always kind of stuck out of my head.
Phillies went to the World Series?
They did go to the World Series. I'm sure, honestly, Chris, that has something to do with it.
The Phillies
I had my
did?
Yes,
first
they did.
baby in 1993.
Oh, wow. Is that right?
Zach was born.
That
Good
was
year
a
for you,
year.
too.
Yeah.
And it's weird that I would associate a sports team winning the World Series as a reason for having like this great year of my life.
Making it to the World Series, not winning.
But also, that's true. You're right, sorry. Second year of college? Second semester started in the winter of 93, and I pretty much screwed that up as badly as you could screw up a college semester.
Wow.
I was
How
3
bad?
point something or another the first semester in the fall.
Yeah.
Spring rolls around, I'm like, college is easy. I just pulled a 3.2. And I essentially figured out that I didn't need to go to all the classes, and I could still be okay, and I was not. And I ended up with 2 failures, 2 incompletes, and a C. A 0.8 for the semester, and they said, hey, you pull that again, you're gone.
Wow.
And I did not pull that again.
But you learned your lesson.
Learned a lesson,
Yeah.
but I will say, I was having fun that semester. That was part of the great year of 93.
I would hope so.
I mean, I didn't care about anything, obviously. Everything was okay. And I just look back, like now you don't have that. As an adult, you don't have those carefree moments anymore. There's always a worry on your mind of something, whether it's kid-related or
Until the kids are out of the house, right? And then life gets a little bit better.
Yeah,
maybe?
it does. There is absolutely something to that. But you never do go back to those kid days. I would take it back before college. It's like when you were little and your
Yeah.
parents were in charge and you never thought about anything other than the present moment.
Yeah.
Like you were just right there.
Yeah, I would say Actually, I mean, I would say I'm one of those people that would say right now. I actually enjoy my life right now. But at the same time, I'd say late high school, college, because I got to travel a lot. I got to ski a lot. I got to travel a lot. I worked at a ski shop, so all the money I made went straight to anything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Says the woman who just got back from
That's
Budapest.
what I'm
know.
thinking.
Yeah.
We just got back
You
from
still
Thailand before that.
I
Dora
went
the
to-
Explorer over here.
Well, and that's also why I'd say right now is good too. And you know, like somebody said, I can't remember it. Rod, you were saying your 30s. You know, that's
Yeah,
kind
you're
of.
in the prime of everything.
And I just hit my 30s, so I feel
Yeah.
like around
30s
this
are great.
time you start to care a lot less about what people think, you know, and you're like,
That's
whatever.
a good milestone. Is
Yeah.
not giving a
Darn.
people think.
Yeah.
And when you get
Yeah.
there,
That's true. Yep.
you're over probably one of life's more
Well, great
ridiculous
Little hurdles,
obstacles
or-
that is
yeah.
also your own doing.
Yeah.
Some people never get over
One
that.
that
That's
you
true.
have entirely
Yeah.
control over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is an obstacle. It's you can get over it yourself.
I mean, I'm not over it.
I'm still not there.
Yeah, none of us are really there, but
I've done a lot
starting
of
to
good
care
reading
less.
that allowed me to prepare that, deliver that wonderfully beautiful statement about.
So
Yeah.
we've got at least one person here weighing in on this particular topic.
Yeah.
Tracy Bishop Yerman, good morning.
Hi, Tracy.
Best stage is right now. I am in good health, feel good in my own skin, and get to spoil the grandkids.
There you go.
I am
that's
flying
nice.
a bit blind this morning because the phone I usually use to watch the feed is being used to show this segment on Instagram, and then the iPad I usually take for my backup was missing. So
this is not the best part of your life.
I have a couple questions. Number one, if anyone's talking about the weather, we can certainly jump back to that topic. I didn't want to start that conversation without Chris and
people
Rod
are
being
talking
here.
about sure they
Yeah.
are.
People want
But we
weather.
can also continue
I
to
wanna
get
talk
your
about the good
feedback.
days of my life,
No,
man.
that's a fun topic. So please continue to weigh in on the best time of your life. When was it and why
Yeah.
was it? But we can also handle some weather questions, and maybe we should just start real quickly, Rod, with an update. Every day
Okay.
we've been asking you for the latest, and where do we stand? Are we completely out of
Yeah.
the dark or out of the?
Well, we're not out of the chances of seeing some wintry precipitation, and there still could be some dustings of snow in spots even a little bit later this morning with this next wave of moisture that comes in. But in terms of are we going to have a snowstorm in Portland or a big ice event in Portland, we've put that chance to bed. That's simply not going to happen. It goes back to what we started to talk about the last couple of days ago, that Arctic air mass that we started to track last week modified greatly as it started to slip southward. And actually that big batch of air that one time looked like it was going to engulf more so across the western U.S. has actually shifted more into the Midwest and the East. So we're not getting the cold base that we needed for east winds developing today, which they will develop today, to produce a potential snow event. So that's gone. But we're watching, like I said, a chance of some snow shower activity today in spots before everything just goes to rain. We'll watch the chance of temperatures dipping a bit overnight tonight that could produce a wintry mix. But that's more of what we've had the last couple of days, and we all know what that's been. And has that led to any significant, big concern for the majority of us? No.
Two weather-related comments just popping up on the live stream here on Facebook. First of all, I'll say good morning to Jennifer McDonald. Jennifer, she says, please tell me it's going to snow, regardless of what you just said. Please tell me it's going to snow. This teacher needs a snow day. She said.
Oh my goodness.
Rod,
God bless you.
We have Monday off. Nick's coming up, right? You have a
true.
3-day
That's
weekend
true.
coming up.
3-day weekend on the way away.
Nice.
And then a specific
Yeah.
question from Willie, because this has been, to me, the most useful part of the stream the last few days. People watch the stream from all over the place.
Yeah.
A lot of people in our area may be somewhere else traveling back home. So Willie is in that situation.
Yeah.
Rod, he says, I need to come home from Boise. Is 84 going to be in good shape Friday, or do I need to fly back?
Friday.
So we're looking ahead, and we're talking about the trip from Boise to Portland.
Well, the Gorge has winter advisory up for later today and tonight. Could be 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of snow in Hood River. The Dalles, for example, probably won't get above freezing until Friday. But right now, there does appear to be a break in the weather, especially for that area east of the Cascades, for a good chunk of the day Friday, I think. And temperatures should be warming. So
Falling, yeah.
if you looked at the blues or 84 out Cabbage Hill,
That's
way,
an even
Chris?
better question, because remember we get up to 4,000 feet out there,
Yeah.
and there's likely to be some snow out there. But again, by the time this quote unquote storm gets there, it's actually fallen apart on that side of the state. So I don't think this particular event is going to be a pretty big
And-
probably even more of a wind maker than anything out there.
Enough of a break in the weather, I think, in that area of our state on Friday that ODOT would have a good chance to get whatever is on the ground through the Blues between LeGrand and Pendleton, kind of cleaned up.
So the long answer is, if you're used to making that trip to and from Boise, you know
Nothing
that the
unusual.
weather can be a little squirrely, but it's probably not going to be, on a 1 to 10 magnitude, it's
Yeah.
probably like a 2.
Yeah, I would feel good.
Diana High says, yeah, no severe weather. Are you just here in Portland, in the area, metro area
All right,
somewhere?
excited? Made
She's
somebody happy?
about that?
Melinda even surprised about Corbett. That must be where Melinda lives. Melinda Robin, good morning to you, Melinda.
morning.
Saying that Corbett wants some snow because even the lower elevations of Corbett have really had no snow so far this week. Terrell pointing out what many people feel is the truth. She says snow is beautiful,
Yep.
just does not like to drive in it.
Same here. And Kieran wants some snow. Yeah, a lot of people do
Hey,
too.
good morning.
Yeah.
And Rod wants that winter forecast to verify. I looked at the long range that goes out through kind of the end of January,
Yeah.
which,
Can
of course, we
change.
sat there a week ago.
Right, yeah.
And we looked at the long range and we said today was going to be interesting, which is still interesting. There's like no.
It's really moderated,
There's no sign of Portland snow. At least if you buy the GFS, there's no sign of Portland snow through January.
They're
30th.
really
That's
No,
okay.
no.
taking cold airflow
No.
and shifting it well.
No, that
to our
doesn't
east.
mean that there's not, the first half of,
Right, it's only January here, so there's still time for the winter outlook to look amazing. Well,
No, I was all in when I finally kind of resigned myself to the fact that yes, we were going to get this, potential for 6 inches. I was like, bring it. And then as soon as you said it wasn't going to happen, I was like, right back.
Okay.
over to the
you're
other
right
side.
back.
Yeah.
Wow, you're
Yeah.
easy to please.
Yes,
then.
I am.
And yeah, we got
All right,
some.
bring it.
I mean, yesterday, JR says on our YouTube page, so thanks for watching this
Hi.
morning, had 2 minutes of snow yesterday. It was gone as quickly as it came, and it kind of goes downhill. She goes, like my love life. But as for the snow, we had that grapple that passed through, and it was
fun.
fast.
Rod, you missed that yesterday. That happened like literally
Yeah.
right
At noon.
during the noon
Yeah.
newscast,
So
right during
explain
first
that.
weather. We were over like, oh man, we got to go
look
check
at it.
outside and look at this.
And it's
Rob
officially
St. Helen
grapple.
is saying right here on our Facebook page, can you explain the
difference between
hail
grapple and hail.
grapple?
So hail is let's say this. Hail is a convective process. It is a
Speak
up and
English.
down. Okay, so
For
that's
the math
the
and science,
term.
go
He's
ahead.
getting to it. He's
That's
getting
the
to
term.
It.
Okay, so a hailstone comes down, melts, right? Okay, and then the convective updraft, the lift in a storm, throws it back up into the atmosphere above the freezing level, and it refreezes. And then it comes back down because it falls out of the updraft. And then it goes back up after it gets a little more water on it. It goes back up and refreezes, and it gets this cycle of freezing and collecting more water, and then bouncing back up into the cloud and collecting more water until it gets so big that even the strongest lift in the atmosphere, the strongest updrafts, can't support it anymore, and then it falls to the ground as hail. And when you get into big-time thunderstorms, by the way, those updrafts can be 50, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The air going up into a thunderstorm can be 100 miles an hour, in the wild, severe weather. What we had yesterday, we think, and what I saw out there yesterday was more of what I called grapple. And grapple is an official term. It is basically an amalgam snowflake that's collecting a little bit of water around it. It's super cooling that water as it comes down, and then it's just a one shot down, falls out of the cloud, and there it is. And it's not as nice and well formed as a hailstone. It doesn't have layers and layers and layers of ice. I mean, you could actually saw through a hailstone and count it like rings on a tree, right? You can
interesting.
count
I
the
didn't
ring
know that.
cycle,
Yeah.
like the growth
layers,
rings on a
yeah.
tree.
But it looks like hail. It looks
It looks like hail. I mean, and it's even, in fairness, it's even referred to as soft hail.
Yeah.
And and just look. I'm looking at it based on inspection. Like, it had so much snowflake quality to it to not be just a solid hailstone. That's why I just said, you know what, that to me looks like grapple.
Or to me, it looks more like sleet. I guess that's whichever is the eye of the beholder. But to me, it looks more like sleet.
But in that also, sleet
it's probably
is a
more
very
closely related to sleet.
Sleet is a distinct thing,
Yeah.
though, where you've got a warm layer aloft that's melting the snowflake, turning it into a raindrop, and then a shallow layer of cold that's refreezing it. Remember that the temperatures here at the surface yesterday weren't anywhere near freezing.
Oh, okay.
So our temperatures, like for the lowest 1,000 feet of the atmosphere, 500 feet of the atmosphere yesterday, were somewhere between 34 and 37.
Brenda, you look bored.
I am so bored.
That was a great explanation.
Honestly, that's exactly
Amazing.
why I
Wait,
was so bad at science. Something in my
Where did
little
I-
brain just like turned
Okay,
off.
so that was overcomplicated. So how do I simplify that? You still
No,
don't
it's
know the
not
difference
you.
between grapple
That's a me
and
problem.
hail.
That is
No, no,
not
I
a you problem.
I think Brenda thought it was going to be a 10-second explanation. I think that's what she thought. No, here's
good
the deal.
stuff.
Okay, grapple is a collection of snowflakes that's got some water that
not wrong.
froze into like a little
You should
snowball.
Okay. Okay.
How's that?
Here's what
Does
I-
that work?
Right. Okay.
To me,
I tried to explain the process of hail versus the process of grapple.
Which I loved. It's my lifelong
I
problem.
got
And it would
that
help if I had some
hail has
graphical,
layers.
you know, so that I'm not just going like
I
this
did
with my
learn that. I
hands,
think
right?
that's interesting.
I never heard of grapple before yesterday, and you were surprised to hear that. You kind of looked at me like, really? You never heard of grapple before? And then you said the
Because I
same
hang
thing
out
that
with
I should
these
have.
You don't
guys.
remember. We've mentioned it on the news dozens
But
and dozens
listen.
of times. You just don't remember.
Jeff Lucas watches us every day on the stream. What's up, Jeff Lucas? He says, did Rod make up the word grapple? I'm going to tell you right now, if we could do a quick poll, and just all you have to do if you're watching is say yes or no. Just type in yes or no. Have you ever heard of grapple before this week? I'm going to say the majority of our viewers, I still believe,
Might
they have
be.
not.
Maybe
and
not.
when we say it and we just throw it out there,
Does
like
that
we
make
have-
it not? Does that make it
No.
not true?
It just makes it that when we throw it out there like we have this week at
We have
certain
to
times,
explain,
like it's
yeah.
We should.
like you can say snow and you don't have to explain
Describe
what it is.
Okay.
To me, when you say grapple, the majority of our viewers still go, "What the heck's he talking about? Did they make that up?" I still think that is a foreign term to almost all of our
Nicole
viewers.
Pratt,
It kinda
you
sounds
rock.
like
That's
scrapple.
how I
It sounds
thought
like
grapple
wrestling,
was
grappling.
spelled.
Grappling,
Grappling.
yes. Grappling.
G-R-O-P-P-L-E, but it's spelled how?
G-R-A-U-P-E-L.
I know.
Yeah.
The first three
Grapple.
people to weigh in
I'm
on
with
this
you, girl.
say no. Sue says no, never heard of it. Cecilia, no. Sarah, no. Bree, nope. Melinda Robbins says yes. There you go.
Yeah, on YouTube,
so
Shauna
25%
and Anu,
of
you
our-
say nope, nope.
Oh, I'm losing now. Willie says yes.
Losing.
Moved here
Oh.
from New York, and Willie Huey says he has heard of it before. Susan, yes. Tracy, no. Lisa, no. It'll go on and on and on.
Like,
Thanks
you know,
for doing the game, by the way.
Thanks for playing along, guys.
Very
We
cool.
mentioned it in a newscast.
More no's, though, that's for sure.
Yes, thank you, Christine.
Sure.
I'm-
Okay.
I'm
So
noticing that too.
proving unscientifically that it probably, when we throw that term out there, we need a little bit more explanation. Which I literally came to that conclusion to say that on the air as I was looking at it the second I turned around. So that's why I came up with it. And I'm sorry I didn't have the fancy-dancy immediate explanation to describe it right there in news terminology in 10 seconds at that moment.
Okay, so grapple, snowflake with water on it, all frozen up.
Fair enough.
Hail, like layers of ice that just build.
Think of a
on the
hail as
ground.
a meteoroid that's going on a. No, I won't say
Hail,
it.
meteoroid.
It's going up and down in the atmosphere, and it's going on a nice little roller coaster ride up and down until it gets so heavy that it falls.
Okay.
That's a different
Okay.
process than grapple.
Okay. Okay.
Bottom line, you start calling today's or this week's weather boring. Boring
Well,
weather
the
is safe
7-day
weather.
moving forward compared to what we had been looking at several days ago is kind of boring.
So if it's boring, maybe we move on. We go back to the original topic of conversation as we close out the last few minutes of Sunrise Extra, because the question we asked, what was the best stage, or what has
Oh,
been
yeah,
the best
that's
stage, or
right.
maybe
Yeah.
this is the best stage of your life. The best stage of your life was when and why. And Jenny Carlson, a constant
Jenny?
viewer of the Sunrise Extra program, says, you know, really to her, every stage of life is what you make of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Preach.
She says she loves. She loved her 20s when she was single and doing whatever she wanted.
Whoa.
But her 50s that she's in now says are pretty cool too. Not caring much about what others think of her, just being yourself. So that is true. You know, it really is. And I've heard that about raising children too. You know, you talk about, hey, what's the best stage of raising a child?
It's hard right now.
You're still in the early stages.
It's so hard.
And it's going to be so easy compared to when they get older.
it's
The
wonderful.
problems get bigger.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Like, I love watching our son. He's 2.5, 2 3/4. And his birthday's in May, so we're coming up on, it's 2.5. And he's just, but he's so full of energy and testing boundaries, testing limits, testing mommy and daddy. Meanwhile, we've got a 6.5-week-old baby that requires, just complete,
all your attention. Oh, yeah.
And he requires attention because he's trying to literally kill himself with every single object in the house at all turns,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And it's funny sometimes when we lay back, like he knows what to do, but he's just, the little bugger is just like poking us.
Yeah.
And so it's hard, but it's also wonderful.
It will pass.
it's great. So this is a good time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, you were very definitive about why it was terrible, but you just kind of had this casual, and it's great.
You know,
why is it great?
Because there are so many moments of just watching like the interaction between our 2.5-year-old and our baby girl. Like, I mean, he's so sweet to her. Like, he's aware that that's his little sister, and she's becoming more aware now. She's tracking things with her eyes, and she's aware, and she's starting to smile. She starts to reply to smiles. Meanwhile, Patrick is like, "Don't tickle me, tickle me, don't tickle me, tickle me." No, I don't want to do this. And then he goes and does it. And then so he's like, we're literally watching him go from like toddler to like little boy. Like it's like, and now I totally understand those moments where like the car commercial where, like, you know, daughter asked to borrow the keys and
Right,
and all dad can see is the little girl in the car seat behind him, and he's thinking, what? Like, it's starting to speed up all of a sudden.
It goes quick.
So while the moments seem like, while it seems like it's taking forever, I'm also realizing that these moments are going by so quickly.
Here's the saying: the days are long, but the years are short. Right?
Oh,
the days
yeah.
are long,
Exactly what it is.
but the years are short.
I know.
That's
feeling
true,
it.
yeah.
Yes.
Scott Ferguson weighing in on Facebook. He says, best time of my life, I was 14 with
14.
no job and no bills.
Yeah, that's a good time.
I
That's
don't
a
think
good
kids
time.
appreciate that enough at the time.
You just
right?
hope you're in time for dinner after baseball practice,
And
right?
there you go.
Terrell Davis, I love now. Being a grandma is the best. I have my 5th grandchild coming in March. Wow. Awesome. Congrats.
Rotten.
And Jeff Lucas was hearkening back to those summer breaks. They lasted forever.
Oh, back as a kid.
college breaks?
Yeah.
Summer
2.5
camp,
months.
summer
Felt
vacation.
like forever.
Remember the college summers were just like, they were like eras. They were so long.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I miss those.
My kids are
Can I
starting
have
to
a
get the
3-month vacation.
They're starting to get the hang of this idea that it does go quickly, because in the summer, don't tell me now, I just remember last summer, Dad, don't tell us how much time we have left in summer vacation. I don't want to be reminded.
Yeah, don't rush
just,
them.
Yeah, just I'm going to experience the days as they come. I don't need the countdown to go back to school.
Chase
My
and Kate
grandmother
were
used to
onto
say, "Oh, July 4th, summer's almost over," and I was like, "What?"
I'll tell
I think she
you,
just wanted the kids to go back to school.
the moment I remember, speaking of your daughter being the age she is, when the twins turned about 3 months old. It was they were born in September. It was now December. This is probably the closest, and there's been a few of these times, but this is the closest my wife probably said, "You're out of here. We're going to get a
done?"
divorce." Yes,
Oh my
I'm done with you. But I looked at her, and I said, "There is no enjoyment in having children."
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I felt that strongly at the time. There was no like, I like
I've
it when
heard
this
that
happens,
before.
but no, I was like, there is no enjoyment in having kids. This is terrible. I wish we didn't have them.
You know what?
That's a lot of work.
I think that's fabulous that you can say that.
It's Yeah.
Because I feel like as a parent, the people that I know, my best friends, we have all felt that way and continue to feel that way at some point. And it used to just, but I'm like, you cannot be that happy with your children. You know, some people are like, it's always great. I'm like, that
you're like,
can't be true.
Shut up.
You know,
It's not. I respect that.
Well, now when I
That's
feel that
honest.
way, at least I have good moments over the last 12 years to look back and go, oh, no, I know when it's good. But honestly, to that point, from day 1 to 3 months, there was not a day that I could turn to and go, all right, that was special or that was fun. They were all so damn rough in the beginning.
Hard. You had 2. I can't
Two, they
say
were
that.
always
I can't
sick,
imagine
and they
that.
didn't sleep well. And they had that acid reflux. Every stinking bottle they drank and would come up 5 minutes later, sometimes in projectile fashion.
I am not there yet, so I am just experiencing
We still have people
this
watching?
for you guys.
Come on, Rod.
Do we still have people
By the
watching?
way,
You don't like hearing about my kids? Well then,
Rod, is this still
I hear the
true?
music.
Is this still true that you've never changed the diaper?
That is intact.
need to
Yes,
change that.
Rob is going to change the diaper.
Like this, he's protecting
That will change. No, that will change when our beautiful daughter Natasha has a child one day.
hopefully many years
And that will
from now.
change me.
Grandpa
When I become a
Oh.
grandpa, then I will.
Bye-bye.
do it.
Please, go away.
See you later.